come to the park, no pants required, for kids that is. So today I'm thinking about isolation in the world of being a stay-at-home mom. So that quote that I said at the beginning came from one of my friends that I made at a park. When I first moved here to Miami just under a year ago, I didn't know anyone. We don't have any family close by. My closest relative is in Atlanta. And it was really important for me to kind of quickly establish a community. And the easiest way for me to do that as a parent was to just go to the park. So what I started doing was going to the same parks or on the same day at the same time. And if there wasn't really anyone there at that time, switching it up. And eventually I developed a friend group. It didn't happen immediately. I think, let's say, I got here in January of 2024, and my friend group kind of formalized by the summer. So that's excellent. But yes, I started going to the same events. I'd go to library story time, local park, and just making sure I got my kids out every morning. Wearing Theo, my youngest, in the baby carrier so that I could have two arms to be able to redirect and assist my daughter as necessary. But eventually you start seeing the same people, and your kids may interact, and that's just a little opening for you to be able to strike up a conversation. Usually it starts basic. Oh, what's your kid's name? How old are they? And then you continue to build a rapport as you see each other. Now, it's big, but a small world, right? So I ended up seeing some of the same folks at one park that I would go to as the story time I go to, and that just continues to deepen the rapport. And now we have a WhatsApp group called Park Mamas, and we do everything in there from just generally share moments of joy, moments of frustration, ask questions, and get support. And it's a really wide range of folks in there. So I'm a stay-at-home mom, but quite a few of the moms, they work afternoons, and that allows them to stay at home with their children during the morning, and that's when a lot of kid activities are happening in the morning, specifically kiddie classes and story time events and the like. So that's been great. One thing we're doing together is we started a book club. It came up in conversation one day that one of the moms wanted to read the book The Whole Brain Child. I have it right here. And I actually had the same book on my shelf, and I was like, oh my gosh, I've had this book on my shelf for about 2 years. And she's like, no way, me too. So we kind of decided that let's start a book club. And now we are slowly making our way through the book. So there's that kind of level of accountability with the requirement that just get the book, read as much as you can, and we'll share out on a weekly basis in our WhatsApp group or as we're chatting at the park while the kids are playing, which kind of lowers the pressure. So if you didn't get to read that week, then you can still hear some of the good things from the book from other people. Obviously, there's a lot to be said about reading something yourself because we interpret things in various ways and we have our own context. But that's felt really good to have a motivation to actually read this book that's been sitting on my shelf for some time. I read often, but I tend to go directly to novels and things that are kind of low-hanging fruit. I actually prefer reading over social media scrolling or even watching TV because it helps me kind of unwind a little bit more than either of those two activities. But this has been great. So far, I've only read the first 2 chapters, and the authors, Daniel Siegel and Tina Payne Bryson, they are talking about the role of brain development in your child. And as many of you know, our brains aren't fully developed until our mid-20s. So they emphasize that our role as parents is to really help our kids do something called reach integration of the various parts of the brain. So we have our left brain, our right brain, and they actually kind of function a little bit separately. And our goal is to help our kids help those different parts of the brain work together. So I haven't gotten to any other strategies, but I'm hopeful, and I'll keep updating it. It's been really an easy read and simple. I mean, it's about neuroscience in the brain. You would think it might be a little bit inaccessible, but it's actually pretty accessible and an easy read. I'm able to read it at the end of the day, even when I'm tired, and still take some things away from it. So the other good thing that has come out of my Park Moms group is that we can really encourage each other when we're having a hard time, because there's that idea that everyone has kind of been through what you're going through. The quote about "come to the park, no pants required" came up when one day I was having a really hard time getting my daughter dressed. I'm asking her to put her pants on, do this, do that. She's running away. And just, it was challenging. And so I sent a message to the group like, yo, I don't know if I'm gonna make it to the park today. I can't get Sarah to put her pants on. And one of my friends said, hey, just come out, no pants required. And the idea is that make it out of the door. The fresh air, the companionship is a game changer. And 100% of the times where I've been having just like a tough morning, everything feels like pulling hairs, and I've gotten outside and spent at least an hour and a half outside with my kiddos and my park friends, I felt so much better. And then it diffuses the stress, so the pressure both on me and on my kid to like, let's get out of the house and do something. It's like, okay, let's just go. You don't have to put your pants on. We'll put them on at the park. And her being at the park makes her forget about whatever power struggle we are going to. So just that level of encouragement and getting outside really makes a big difference. And the group in general helps with feelings of isolation. Everyone has their different stories, but we all have in common motherhood and having relatively young children, and having friends that are in a similar space is super important. I know I was the first of my friends and also of my family to have a child, and it's kind of lonely, you know, because it's hard you can try to put yourself in someone else's shoes, but until you've really done so, it's pretty difficult. And even folks who had kids a while back, things get real fuzzy real fast. Like, I really don't remember too much about giving birth. I mean, I know it wasn't great. That there was pain involved, but it gets really fuzzy just because you have so much input, so much information coming at you all the time, and you're constantly adjusting. So having that group has been fantastic. Quickly, going to change topics and talk a little bit more about my Whole30 journey. So we are on day 9, and hopefully some of the negative side effects of cutting out dairy, sugar, alcohol, grains, legumes will start to subside. Yesterday, I had a lot of fatigue. Now, I'm asking myself, is it because I've only been clocking like 5 hours of sleep with all the prep that's involved, and also with my son getting up really early in the morning? Possibly. Or they also said that's one of the things that happens as your body transition from getting its main source of energy as carbs to using fat as a energy store. So I don't know, but hopefully we're making it further into this journey and feeling better. I don't feel as shaky today, and we have a great menu. I made a diner breakfast, so that's a sweet potato hash with homemade chicken sausage and what else? And 2 fried eggs. So I made that last night and packed it up to go because my husband had to leave early, and also have a busy morning once the kids get up, and it's difficult to get any cooking done first thing in the morning, especially with the swim class happening later. Then lunch, Greek salad with hard-boiled eggs and homemade Greek vinaigrette. Honestly, the Greek vinaigrette from this program is the best salad dressing I've ever had in my life, and it's super simple ingredients: extra virgin olive oil, red wine vinegar, lemon juice, freshly minced garlic, salt and pepper. Shake it all up, and you have what I think is some of the best dressing I've ever had in my life. Then dinner today, trying something new. We'll see how it goes. Making burgers, but instead of a traditional bun, I'll be using a sweet potato bun and roasting sweet potatoes like in thin slices to replace the bun. Yes, sweetie. Come down. Good morning. I'm glad you're awake. Mommy's making a video so Sarah can come sit with mommy, and then mommy will help you with your nighttime diaper, okay? Yeah. So Sarah's awake, and so we're gonna start getting her ready for the day. She has her second day of the infant safety rescue. Yesterday went really well. Put some vegetables in. Oh yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Come downstairs, sweetie. She has her second day of infant safety rescue today. Yesterday went really well. Like I said, she got in the pool for a little bit, nothing too intense. I think today things will ramp up a little bit, so we'll see how it goes. But I'm, again, looking forward to it. I think she's looking forward to it too. Here she is. Good morning, sweetheart. Oh, I love you.